Yeah, he talked
Bruh.
about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and he said
Specifically
some
the killer.
things. What's that?
Specifically the killer.
Mm-hmm. And
I also
from
want
what
to
I
point out
heard,
though first. I also want to point out though first that on the night that the shooting happened, Kimmel did actually denounce it and said that he prayed for the family and such. I just want to put that out there. Continue, Corey.
he said some things about the assassin, what happened, and what happened is that he was indefinitely suspended by the individuals who sponsor the show.
Facts. Pilgrim. Facts.
The people who...
And they don't like it when it happens to them, do they?
Mm-mm.
Why are we celebrating that?
I'm not.
Sorry, Corey. Proceed.
You're good. A lot of people seem to be confused. I heard that the chairman of the FCC, he was saying some not good things about the whole situation. To be fair, the FCC has, from my understanding, no say in the matter because it's a broadcast. It's on a cable company, not a public broadcasting network.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it were on a public broadcasting network, that would be a different government entity.
Mm-hmm.
So all we can do with what the chairman of the FCC said was just take it as his personal opinion.
And
so
what he did say on Benny Johnson's show that I saw, because I watched the clip, was Benny Johnson brought it up and he said, well, I mean, we could look into that, but I don't know what we'd really do about it, but we could look into it. And I think it's important, but you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't he wasn't, so it was his personal opinion. And here's the thing. I think they're using this as the point to just cancel the show because the sponsors are the ones that pulled out. Sponsors pulled out from ABC. And the fact that sponsors pulled out from ABC is the reason that Kimmel got fucked. Yeah. And he's not canned. He's not canned. He's not fired. People keep saying that. He's not fired. This is not a free speech thing. If you have the freedom of speech to say whatever you want, but if I were to talk to one of my reps for Red Sea at work and say certain things, they might not want to do business with the Reef anymore.
Right.
And if they don't want to do business with the Reef anymore, that is their prerogative. I also have my prerogative to say whatever the fuck I want. But here's the other thing. Kimmel's show is written. It's not off the cuff like Roman and Corey and I are right now. They have script writers. Mm-hmm. That is a script that he's reading.
So would you say it
is an agenda, is what I'm saying. And even if it isn't, it's something that he said and he wants to say. So that's still in its own a problem because it is misinformation. It is incorrect. And that is why the sponsors had a problem with it. And it's not just like conservative sponsors. It was all sides. And it's not even just that. There's a big merger going through, which Roman's going to bring up with, Nexstar? And when that happens, Disney, by the way, which is a hardcore Democrat company, which isn't a problem. It just is. We know that. They support Democrat leaders.
Yeah.
So they own ABC. They are the ones that are worried about the funders pulling out because of Kimmel. And this is Kimmel only has 100, but due to the census, right? There's a census on who's watching him. And from the census, 126,000 a night. That's less than half the YouTubers. No one's watching him. That's less than Colbert, and Colbert's canceled.
Yep.
So they use this as an opportunity to go, goodbye. And they actually asked him, this is in the article if you look it up, they actually asked him to just make an apology. And instead, he said he would double down. And that's the reasoning that they're at an impasse. And they said, until we can figure something out, we'll bring you back. But can't bring him back because he's not, like, until they come up with an agreement. That's why it's suspended indefinitely. That is not firing. Suspended indefinitely is different. Colbert is fired. He's got a year left on his contract, and then he's done.
It's like not renewing your lease on something.
Kimmel's not fired because guess what? His show's not going to air. They actually said, we're just going to air other stuff, maybe old Letterman.
Seriously. The space is going to get full. They're still going to provide the service that everyone's paying to see.
Yeah, and guess what? Nobody in our generation gives a fuck about Jimmy Kimmel.
Nobody gives a fuck about Stephen Colbert.
No one.
That's all. The people who care about Stephen Colbert are people that are like my brother's age, who are a decade older than us, who have kids, have full-time jobs, and have houses and shit, to where their lives are too busy to where they can't.
Kimmel's top demographic is 50 to 60.
Yeah. And it's retired people. Oh, well, then shit, that's a lot older than my brothers. But I digress. It's for people who have shit going on, or...
But they're getting their information from him, and it's incorrect. And you flew too close to the sun, buddy.
Poor Icarus.
This isn't even cancel culture.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Roman.
Yeah,
I would disagree that it's not.
If you say some... What do you mean? The sponsors didn't like what he said and were like, this is enough is enough.
That's cancel culture.
The sponsors were... Why is that cancel culture? You fire a bad employee. That's what he is. It wasn't the people. They weren't annoyed because of the people on Twitter. It was the sponsors themselves, these multi-millionaires that pay for this to exist.
So, if I may butt in real quick.
Had told him multiple times to stop, and he has not, and they said enough is enough.
So we're celebrating cancel culture now? Cool.
Let me ask you, hang on.
He's not fired and not canceled, and nobody's out there going, you're
His
fired.
show got canceled. His show got canceled.
The show's not canceled.
It's suspended indefinitely until they come to an agreement.
So the reason, let's take a second and break down. The reason we're doing suspended indefinitely versus
we're talking
suspended...
about this when a man got killed last week for free speech.
The reason they're using that language is because if they say he's suspended for a year, 6 months, whatever, people are going to be sitting there expecting him to come back.
Right.
If they say suspended indefinitely, they're not firing him, but there's still the option for him to come back. If we were to look and say he's canceled, he's not fired, he's laid off. And what he needs to do, if he wants his job back, which is on the table, he has to make the apology. He has to go through the steps in order to get his job back. If he goes through the steps,
did he not get canceled?
He did not get canceled.
Did he not get canceled?
No.
He did not.
That's not canceling. He's not Gina Carano.
So here's how I would describe canceling is a
Gina got canceled.
Overwhelming public outcry for this person to lose their job. If Roman, so here's how I'll explain it. Let's use Roland here as an example. Roland works at the Reef. And if Roland were to go on Twitter or say to a customer something very vulgar, and that customer would then report it, and or the incident would get put online, everyone reads it, and everyone is just like, I'm not going to go purchase at the Reef until this Roland guy is fired. And enough people say that, and the company's like, we're going to lose a significant portion of business unless we fire this man. He's not getting fired because he's a bad employee. He's getting fired because the public opinion is getting so drastically affected because he's here that they have to fire him in order to save the business.
Yeah.
All right. So
hold on. Let him finish.
So
it's all about the public outcry for something. Now,
so I haven't. Sorry, Corey.
Good.
No. So I was gonna say I haven't really gotten my my piece yet, but so I looked up what cancel culture is, and cancel culture is actually this. Okay. So cancel culture is the mass withdrawal of support from individuals, groups, or companies perceived to have done or said something objectionable, often through public shaming and social media campaigns, with the aim of denying their influence and creating social and professional consequences.
Right.
All right.
So Jimmy Kimmel wasn't canceled.
Can I finish, please?
So then he wasn't canceled.
Go ahead. Let's
Rolling.
Hang on.
Rolling.
I want to hear him out. I want to hear his point.
So recently, the president of the United States advocated for Jimmy Kimmel to get fired, and you would think that he would say that like that was wrong, right? No. So basically, he said that any late night host who he doesn't like, he would look into them losing their licenses. So, can someone explain to me, if that's not cancel culture, what is that?
That would be.
They all talk shit on him all the time.
The way I would describe it is
he's a professional shit talker. I'm out defending Donald Trump. I don't like the man.
I mean, if anything, I would say it's him, like with the chairman of the FCC, it's him explaining his opinion.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the president doesn't have any control over who gets a job and who gets fired, unless it's someone underneath him, like an aide.
He doesn't have any control over anything, if we're going to be honest about that. But
just for the sake of argument, if he had any control over anything, it'd be an aide beneath him.
Corey knows. Corey's a Fed.
Shit, you got me.
Corey's a Fed.
You hear me over here? I'm typing away, typing my manifesto on you guys.
So what I would also say though is that Roland brought it up earlier, Roland brought it up earlier. So basically, this merger that's happening has to be and y'all can look this up. This is real. It has to be approved by the DOJ and the FCC.
Yes.
Who?
The merger between two massive companies.
Can I finish, please, Roland? Roland, can I finish?
Yes.
Who selected the head of the who selected the head of the DOJ?
Broman, I'm going to tell you something right now. Any merger of that size needs to be approved by the FCC and the DOJ, and here's why.
You answer my question. You answer my question.
Obviously, the president, but that's okay. Obvious. But here's why. That would happen. The same thing would happen under Biden. The same thing would happen under Obama. The same thing would happen under Clinton. The same thing would happen under Bush. Anybody. The same thing would happen because the Department of Justice and the FCC have to make sure that a monopoly is not being created, which somehow Amazon got away with. Which is why when a merger of this size is there, yes, it has to be ratified by them.
Okay.
And
Trump recently said that he was for Jimmy Kimmel getting fired.
That had nothing to do with this. These are two completely different things.
Can I finish?
These are two completely different things. These are literally one thing.
Can I finish? Shut up. Can I finish? Shut up. Thank you. So chill
the fuck out, bro.
No, you're literally interrupting me. Just chill.
You asked me a question and I answered it.
Let me finish. You
don't even watch Jimmy Kimmel. Why the fuck do you care so much?
Let me finish. Let me go.
Dad and Dad are fighting again.
So what happened was that the president said that he was for the Jimmy Kimmel firing. So these companies pulled out, in my own point of view, because they didn't want the president to turn this merger down. That's my own point of view.
That's not that's your point of view, but that's not correct though. But they literally said the reason.
I can't get my thought out. I can't. can't get my
Could
thought.
I ask you a question, Roman?
May I please finish my thought first?
Absolutely. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Finish your thought.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I finish? Thank you.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is that they want this merger to go through. And the thing is that we all just acknowledge that, yes, it is up to the Department of Justice. The president literally picked the head of the Department of Justice. He or she is going to do whatever he wants them to. So if he tells them, hey, tell them no, they're going to tell them no. That is just literally what's going to happen. Because he doesn't like Kimmel. He doesn't like whole Bear. He doesn't like any of them. Okay?
So would the president
Corey,
telling him
Corey,
to vote a certain way, would that not be illegal? I'm sorry, Roland.
Give me a second.
Yep, go ahead.
We know why Colbert lost his job. He still has it. His show's on for another couple months. He lost it because of the ratings. Okay? It is reported. Money runs the world. Right? These people did not like it. These are Disney people who are cool with the shit that Disney's doing. Like, Disney owns ABC. These are Disney shareholders. Democratic company. Very left-leaning company. So I don't know what you're talking about. It has to go through the FCC and the DOJ for a big merger like this in order not to create a conglomerate monopoly.
Yeah.
It would do that with it would have done. Okay, so this merger was probably planned out under the Biden administration at that time.
Yeah.
It takes years for this. You see what I'm saying? That is not. These are two different things. Two different things.
The DOJ approves of the merger. They don't want to be the sponsors.
That has nothing to do with it.
The sponsors don't want to. The sponsors don't want to lose the merger. Obviously, they're worried that the DOJ is going to tell them no. So they fired Jimmy Kimmel.
Corey's point about the optics.
The optics?
Corey made a point about they have the right as a business to fire me.
Yeah. So
something.
If he said something, very gross, and
it'd be different than my customers, because quite frankly, my boss would be like, "Fuck off, Roland's a good worker, don't talk shit," unless it was like really bad. It'd be more so like if the reps from all of the companies knew what I said. Because we do have rep days where reps come in. Some of them fly in from Germany, Italy, like things like that. You know what I mean? So it's like when they come in, like if I were to say something to reps like that, that would be the thing. That would 100% get me fired.
And so one question I was going to have for you, Roman, is say you have a show that you really like to watch, right? It's on Disney.
Yeah.
Say for some reason we all watch The Acolyte and we all love The Acolyte.
Fuck you.
Just roll with it. I know. I picked it specifically because I know my audience. We all watch The Acolyte. We all love The Acolyte.
Oh my God, that's getting clipped. Clip that. Clip that. Clip that.
We all.
Corey.
Hang on. Let me get real close to the microphone so you get some good quality. We all love The Acolyte.
We're gonna get called Disney shows now, man.
The Halo show is good, and Rings of Power is. I'm not to it.
Lord of the Ring. I can't. Nope. Anyway, so say we all watch a Star
love
Wars
the
show.
Marvels movie.
There we go. Another clip. Dude, Clipomania should be the name of this episode.
Clipomania.
So
we
all watch we all watch Disney Show A. We watch Disney Show A. We love Disney Show A.
Right.
We watch Disney Show B. We don't like Disney Show B.
Okay.
Now.
Oh, so like Acolyte and Andor.
Yes, sure. I didn't want to put names on it, but sure.
No, Acolyte
we like Disney Show A. We watch Disney Show A. We don't like Disney Show B. Disney Show B gets pulled because they're not getting watched. If a person says, I don't like Disney Show B on Twitter, and that gets, 5 or 10,000 likes or whatever it is, I don't have a fucking Twitter, is that person and the people who like it, are they canceling Disney Show B, even though Disney Show B is not getting the ratings that it needs? Would Disney Show B be getting canceled, or are they getting their show pulled because they're not providing what's needed to keep the show up?
Again, you're forgetting where I said, hold on, Ron, real quick. Just keep in mind, 126,000 is the census. I can pick 70 different YouTubers that make more than that every day.
I can also tell you.
Go ahead.
So, to answer your question, I think in your scenario, like in the court of public opinion, it would be getting canceled, sure. But what I would also say is that there's another angle to this too, and this happened. So I know roll y'all's eyes, but this really did happen. So in his first term, Donald Trump actually did
Jesus Christ.
It flew under the radar, but he essentially basically gutted internet privacy, right? So
no, he didn't. They stopped that.
Okay, hang on. Let's get your thought out.
So, one, that did happen. Two, he also he also increased NSA's fines. So, Corey, you brought up earlier, wouldn't that be illegal for him to do that? He violated the emoluments clause of the Constitution when he took money from the Saudis. So he's got no problem doing illegal stuff.
What about Obama taking money from the Saudis?
Corey brought up, would that be illegal? Yeah, it would be. He's got no problem doing illegal stuff.
I'm not talking about Donald Trump in this instance, dude. Like, I don't care about him. That has nothing. He has nothing to do with this. Just because he says he doesn't like Jimmy Kimmel, like, I don't like Donald Trump. So, like, it doesn't matter.
Would it be illegal? I would say there could be grounds for it, but I don't know the exact instance you're referring to. So I can't really give you the
broader point that I'm making. The broader point that I'm making was I was just trying to respond to what you were saying, because you said that it would essentially kind of be illegal for him to like dip his toes into, all of this, which one, I think that, and Roland, Corey, I'm not saying that like y'all are wrong. I'm saying that it's very, very dense if you guys cannot put your if you can't like rack your brains. You're both very smart to not be able to see I'm not saying that it's a full connection, but like it's just like the problem wasn't the fact that they fired Gina. It was the double scanners. The scales are just balancing and they can't handle it.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
So
now guess what? Guess what? The scales are balanced, and now everybody's freaking out saying this is against free speech. Well, what happened? Nobody was saying that when Donald Trump got kicked off Twitter, when Alex Jones got kicked off Twitter, when Gina Carano got kicked off Twitter. Nobody was saying that was against free speech.
That's actually not true.
That is fucking true.
No,
you might not have fucking said that, but a lot of other people did.
Actually, you can That's actually not true, but you can,
Question.
proceed.
When Trump got kicked off Twitter, was he the president at the time?
No.
Who was the president?
Biden.
Did Biden say this is a gross misuse of? Did Biden ever say this is a disgusting abuse of the First Amendment because a private citizen got kicked off?
That, no. I don't recall him saying
could it
that, no.
be? I mean, the point I'm trying to make is, would it not be a double standard? Because when the Democrats were in power with Biden and Trump got kicked off Twitter, they never said this is against free speech. But when Trump's in office and this happens to one of their people, whether you want to call them a Democrat or somebody in whatever group, since someone's getting a high priority person like Kimmel's getting canceled, do you think there's not a small thread that people could use to say that this is a double standard? Because since the Republicans are in office, a Democrat's getting canceled or canned or laid off. Since a Democrat's in trouble now and a Republican's in office, could you not say it's a double standard? Because when a Republican got canceled and the Democrats were in office,
Trump was the sitting president when he got kicked off. Oh,
I was going to say I was just looking it up.
Okay, then even at that point, would it not be?
He was removed the 8th. Biden took over the 20th. He was removed right before.
Huh. I don't know when. I know Trump got kicked off of Twitter.
Okay, so it was still basically the same thing.
And even then, would it not be
still a double standard?
Would not be still a double standard for Biden not to be like, hey, I'm president elect. It's wrong that Trump got kicked off Twitter.
Sure. And yes. Yeah, it would be, but I also would say though that Sean Hannity didn't lose his show. Brett, Baer didn't lose his show. None of the Fox hosts or any of the Newsmax hosts lost their shows.
Okay, so reflecting.
If I may ask, do you know why they're not losing their shows? Why do you think those people are not losing their shows?
Because the networks that they're with probably don't. Fox is Fox not also owned by Disney? Fox is owned by Disney too. Yeah. So I think that they probably didn't lose their shows because
go ahead.
Biden could have I'm just saying, at any time, if he had really wanted to, Biden could have pulled the plug on, Sean Hannity, and he didn't. So
why do you think Biden didn't do that?
Because while Sean Hannity, while I don't agree with him, he didn't he didn't
like.
Come on, you got it. It's on the tip of your tongue. I want to hear your thoughts. Why do you think these people haven't had their shows pulled?
Because they were using their First Amendment rights, and he did lie rolling.
And do you think that it could also be a possibility, going back to the views? Do you think that these shows are not? Do you think that just for Jimmy Kimmel's sake, do you think that since he's getting less views than some YouTubers, that them indefinitely suspending his show could have the underlying cause be the fact that his show isn't doing good? Its ratings are below what they need. And that they got rid of his show because his show doesn't pull in the views that it used to, and that it costs more money to keep his show on air versus showing another program.
I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. I think it's definitely. I'm not saying it's not part of it, but I also though do genuinely think that I think that the sponsors and I think that ABC they really do want this merger to go through, and I don't think that they want the FCC and the DOJ to tell them no. And so, I think personally that they kind of sacrificed Kimmel and they were just looking for any way to, get rid of him. and this was that. But in doing that, I think
So
that
I agree with what I said in the beginning. You were telling me this was a free speech thing, and now you agree with what I said in the beginning.
It is a free speech thing. He used his First Amendment right. He used his First Amendment right.
Yeah, so hang on. Let's ask this. Let's ask this question. We all understand that the First Amendment right is a broad blanket term, but there is certain free speech. There's certain speech you cannot use. Can you accept that? There is certain speech that you cannot say in this country. There are certain things you can say. There are things in this country that are not protected by free speech.
Did what he said, what he said, does that qualify as hate speech?
That's not the question I asked.
Yeah, you're deflecting again, dude.
So could one of you please enlighten me? What was it that Jimmy Kimmel said?
I'll show you.
He basically said that the shooter was like MAGA or something.
No, okay. Roman, have you actually seen the clip? Tell me that right now. Have you actually seen the clip?
I've seen like snippets of it, not like the thing.
Have you actually seen? That doesn't answer my question. Yes or no? Have you seen the clip?
I answered it. I haven't seen it in full. Yes.
Okay, so no, you haven't actually seen the clip.
So I've seen snippets of it. Don't put words into my mouth here.
I haven't seen it. From what I heard was
it's a very simple question, yes or no. I just need a yes or a no. Did you see the context? Yes or no. I don't need extra words. Yes or no.
Yes. There.
Okay.
Now, from my gathering, as someone who hasn't seen it, I heard that there was a lot of different views. The current information that I heard earlier this morning was that he grew up in a MAGA household, and that they said he was MAGA, and that he made jokes that, you know...
He grew up in Utah. Of course he grew up in a conservative household.
But what I heard as someone who broke down the information after that was that his family was not hardcore MAGA.
No,
they were more center than anything, and that he went off to college, and since he grew up MAGA, when he was finally out of the house, he did a full 180, and he went like super hardcore. I don't want to say liberal. I don't want to throw shade on the liberals, but he was the opposite of MAGA.
So his friend, I don't know if you saw this, Corey, his friend started saying that his friends were saying that he got more and more politically motivated throughout high school and got more and more like anti-conservative.
And it'll hit a crescendo in college where he met his trans boyfriend. I think that's what the partner wanted to be. The partner was woman and wanted to be a man, so it was a trans boyfriend. And that's when shit really hit the fan. And there was a poll I saw that was just like, hey, this trans partner knew about the incident prior to it happening. Should he or she face consequences for not informing the police or trying to convince him not to do that? But from what I'm hearing is he grew up in a conservative house. After high school and college, he did a 180. And if anything, by the time he committed this attack, this assassination, calling him a Republican would have been a flat out lie. Calling him MAGA would be a lie.
Yes.
Because from the information I hear, he was very far from it.
All right, so he went to college for one semester, and he dropped out. He went to college for one semester, dropped out. He went to Utah State, which is actually a conservative college.
Okay, that's the closest college. That's like going to Bucks, bro. That's a conservative college.
So if I may ask, are you insinuating that he couldn't have had his political beliefs change either in that one semester or change while he attended this conservative university.
I'm not saying that.
Conservative college. Okay, I want to make sure.
For the record,
what are you saying?
For the record, I'm not saying that he is a conservative, but a lot of what has came out both from both sides of the aisle have been proven to not be true. So we have to be very careful.
Corey, I need you to pull up this video and skip to 3:17.
Alrighty, I will.
Then share screen.
Thank you, Corey. Appreciate you. Wait,
it's gonna run.
I can't stop it. It's.
He doesn't have the power to share, Roland, so I'll share it.
Oh.
You said what, 3:17?
Yeah. He can't share screen?
Can you share screen, Corey?
He should be able to. Everybody else can share screen.
I could present something, but share screen.
Sorry.
You're all good, baby.
My brain's not functioning today.
You're all good. You got nothing to apologize for.
I was like, bro, Muffler can share screen, so he should be able to share screen.
So, you know what? This will actually be awesome for
later guys, tonight. It's also sick because we're not streaming over Crimson because he's at a concert.
Hey. So, everyone, I don't know if you can see this now.
We'll pull it up, Roman. So, that's the transcription, right?
Let me also make sure tab's not muted. All right. Ready?
So, that's exactly what they said. I had enough of this. So, this is Gary's video on it, explaining the entire thing with Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Why'd you say it like that? He actually shows the clip.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
It's completely vile. It's completely disgusting. And no, Jimmy, you can't hide behind your 21 writers or say you didn't have enough information. You knew exactly what you were doing. Of course, the next day he got a lot of clapback, and quite frankly, I don't think anyone was expecting Disney's ABC to do anything about it. Then on the morning of September 17th, Benny Johnson had the commissioner of the FCC on, and they discussed it.
Do you believe that what Jimmy Kimmel said rises to the level of news distortion?
Look, again, the FCC could be called upon to be an ultimate judge in that, but at this point, I think it's clear. It appears to be clear that you can make a strong argument that this is sort of an intentional effort to mislead the American people about a very core fundamental fact, a very important matter. At the end of the day, if we do get called upon to cast a vote on this, Disney will have a chance to put in their arguments and explain it. But this is a very, very serious issue right now for Disney.
Still, I don't think anybody realistically believed Disney's ABC was going to do anything about it until this bomb dropped a few hours later from their affiliate Nexstar. Nexstar Media Group, which owns about 32 of the 200 ABC stations, said this: today, we announced that the company's own partner television stations affiliated with the ABC television network would preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC affiliated markets. They went on to say Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse. And it's my belief this forced Disney's ABC's hand to do something that they might not have done, because ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely.
So here's something that I do think, I believe we tapped on it before. He's not fired.
No, exactly. He's not fired. But Gary covers this really well. That's why I like Gary's channel. Go and subscribe to Neurotic.
So I don't know if you guys, do you want me to keep playing the video, or are we?
Well, there's one more point that I want to get to that he has. If it's a little bit farther in, and then I think it might be actually almost right there. So just let it play. Let it play.
Over Charlie Kirk comments. The network's decision comes after affiliate group Nexstar said it will pull the late night show, and the chairman of the FCC suggested he might take action against ABC. From Variety, ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely after host Charlie Kirk comments. Do I have any sympathy for Jimmy Kimmel? Let's just say I have about as much sympathy for him as he had for the people who refused to take the jab.
Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
And the free speech argument will rightly come up. Do I think he should be fired over his...
Stop it.
So,
Stop.
What?
Do you think... What did Roman say?
What did you say?
I said he voted for the guy that did Operation Warp Speed. Okay? Like...
Yeah, and I didn't take the vax.
You voted for the guy that did it. So, like...
Yeah, I didn't agree with it. That was a different term.
You voted for him. You voted for him.
You know the reason. Don't change this. I've talked about it a million times. You know the reason I could not vote for Kamala Harris. You know why.
I'm just saying though, like
you know why.
You
know why. That had nothing to do with it. I hated both of them. You know why.
But yeah, let it play, Corey.
Okay.
Speech or opinions? Absolutely not. Do I think he should be fired for lying? Well, not necessarily, but it's really not up to me. I do think he should be fired for being really shitty at his job. And I have no problem with him getting fired using somebody's death to score some political points. Disney's ABC, I'm not the only one saying it, said it would take Jimmy Kimmel's popular? I'm not so sure about that. Late night show off its schedule indefinitely after one of the biggest owners of the TV stations in the U.S., Nexstar Media, said it intended to preempt airings of the program following remarks the host made about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. How about just Charlie Kirk? How about just human being Charlie Kirk? You cannot hate the media enough. In the monologue Monday night, which...
That is another thing I do have an issue with this whole situation.
Yes. Because
we keep everyone that I keep hearing of is making it political.
Yes.
And Roman, I don't think you're doing it. Roland, I don't think you're doing it. What bothers me is we can't just sit here and go, that was a father. That was a father, that was a son, that was potentially a brother, an uncle. I don't know his life that well. I do know that he was a husband, he was a son, and a father to 2 kids. I do know that when Charlie was shot and killed, his daughter, who was in attendance, who was old enough to run and feel fear, ran to her dad for comfort. Her dad, who is currently bleeding to death in front of her.
She ran to him and tried to help him.
And what hurts me is we can't go and be like, hey, look, forget the politicalness. Because both sides are going to use this as an argument. What I would really want to hear is that someone died. Someone died, and it was a travesty.
People are 3D printing statues of him getting shot and selling them. People are like,
who's doing
selling
that?
shirts with him getting shot.
Who?
Does it? Okay, let's ask this. Does it matter who? But the fact, does it matter the name? It's just the fact that people are doing that is the messed up part. To bring up the poster boy for everyone not forgetting. What if we did something like what if we had Gandhi being shot and killed and making that the world would have a hissy fit? MLK being killed and they making a 3D statue of that.
George Floyd.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I feel like we had to. George Floyd doing that. The problem is it shouldn't be anyone
who was a career criminal.
We shouldn't be making any statues of people who have been killed or anything like that because it's wrong. Even if we were to do it against someone that we can all agree is a horrible person, we like to point to Adolf Hitler being, the crown jewel of evil. Should we have people out there making statues of Adolf Hitler shooting himself? Would that be okay? I would say no because I
think the only time that's okay is in an alternate history type movie, like Inglourious Bastards, where they just light Hitler up.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's done as a joke. Or in Valkyrie, but he doesn't even die in Valkyrie.
I'm The point I'm getting at is it's just someone died, and the fact that it's getting turned into this huge hot button political shit is a problem. And is the person politically motivated? Potentially. I never knew him. All I know is that he was very, from what the secondhand information that I heard of him, he was very well spoken, and that he challenged people, he brought them up to debate, and he was very Christian.
I mean, Cenk Uygur, who is a known leftist, actually loved Charlie Kirk because he goes, "That's somebody that I can have a conversation with."
Yeah.
We had some of the most fiery debates, but at the end we would shake hands. And I don't like Cenk Uygur, but my point being is, like, that's, I give him credit for saying that.
So let me ask.
The point that what Charlie was doing was just advocating for free speech, and at the end of the day, he got a lot of kids to vote, whether they agreed or disagreed.
There was, sorry, Roman. One point I did want to that popped in my head. There was one snippet I saw. I don't know if it was real or not, but apparently, like, the Democratic Party lost like over 2 million voters after Charlie Kirk's death, and the Republican Party gained over 2 million. Like, they lost like 2.1 million, and the Republicans got like 2.3.
I'm one of them.
And it's like, that's the whole political party system kind of annoys me. Why can't we just vote on what people say and be like, this person wants to do this, and that's why I want to vote for him, not because he's red or blue. But that's just
or red and blue is the same. Red and blue is the same.
Yes, thank you, Roland. The layup.
Red and blue is the same.
Oh,
maybe like
the Tucker to my church.
Patreon. Check it out. We're watching Red versus Blue right now, and it's
we are halfway through.
Awesome.
We're at season 6.
We are
season 6 tonight, guys. So tonight,
you signed on to that, Corey? You're fine with that?
Fuck it.
Season 6 tonight.
As long as I'm at church tomorrow by 8
a.m. We ball. Fuck it, we ball. Yo, did you just quote Mahler?
Sure. I've been saying "fuck it, we ball" for years, and I have no idea where it came from.
So "fuck it, we ball" is something that was an old meme, but Metal Commander said that when he was playing Simpsons Hit and Run, and he was timed, and he had like 30 seconds left or some shit. And he goes, "Fuck it, we ball," and just like went up the ramp, but the ramp like glitched, and he just like fucking hit it like it was a brick wall. So it was so fucking funny, and it became a clip. So I'm wondering if you're quoting that or not.
No, it's just been something I've been saying for years.
Well, "fuck it, we ball" is a more recent clip, but I want to let this play just a little bit more. If Roman has more to say, though.
Yeah, let's hear.
So, I actually just wanted to ask both of you fellows.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tucker Carlson, who I disagree with like 99% of the time,
and just say me as well,
and Ted Cruz, who I disagree with 100% of the time. Unless
he's talking about Texas, he really cares about his state.
So, I'm talking about like national stuff. I don't really,
No, I agree. I'm just like the things he said about it when like Texas got fucked up, which was horrific.
So
like he did a really good job at that point. But
so Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, who are, I wouldn't say that they're like far right, but they're pretty right. Like they're not so much Tucker, but like Ted Cruz is like kind of like in like the MAGA base. Like he said his quote was that what happened to Jimmy Kimmel was not acceptable. he said that, and he said that if this continues, it could be a bad look for conservatives.
Okay.
So, what
Why
do you guys make of that?
What about Gina Carano?
So with that, I don't think it's going to continue after Jimmy Kimmel. I like to think that what happened to Jimmy Kimmel is just a
Mark Hamill's done Mascot's job.
Yeah, if it really were to be something like the Republicans are actually going with cancel culture and using it to like hurt the Democrats, Mark Hamill would be out of a job. Everyone who essentially talks bad about the president probably would be losing their jobs. I mean, it happened. What happened with Jimmy Kimmel is
it's business,
purely business. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with politics. He said something that wasn't bad, or Jimmy Kimmel said something that was horrible, but him getting canceled over this is not the reason. And the problem is, I think people are looking deep enough at the situation. I purely think this is a purely business standpoint. It happened with Stephen Colbert.
What do you guys say about the FCC chair? I believe he was on NBC. I could be wrong.
You just
saying that
Go ahead.
saying that we're not done yet. He was like asked about Jimmy Kimmel, and he said, and I quote, "We're not done yet."
Okay.
He said that like he said it in live and in living color.
Yep. So
okay, so what if he means we're not done with the situation yet?
It's very vague, and he didn't really like explain what
Right, so
what he
then-
meant.
Okay,
yes,
But
so
he was asked about Jimmy Kimmel, and he
Mhm.
said, "We're not done yet."
right.
yes,
So, and the commissioner of the FCC came out and put out a statement saying that the FCC threatened ABC to fire to lay off Jimmy Kimmel over this.
Okay.
okay.
So, Roland, do you want to answer first, or do you want me to?
No, you got it.
Okay.
It's your first show, Corey. I'll let you get the first.
Okay. I mean, the FCC is the Federal Trade Commission, right? We can all agree on what the FCC stands for.
Yeah.
Pilgrim, wait, hang on. Shush, Pilgrim. Shh. So the FCC, like I said earlier, has no stake and or power to do anything. The FCC. What's that?
I was just saying. I'm sorry. We've said this.
Yeah, I know, but it's okay. Repetition. We learned the repetition. He has no power to physically do anything. He can threaten to go and take the license away from ABC and all that. That's him just talking. Roman, I could say to you right now, I'm going to take over your stream and I'm going to kick you off, and it's going to just be me and Roland, and we're going to turn it into a public talk show, and we're going to be the new Charlie Kirk. That's all fucking words, bro. I don't have that power. Roland doesn't have that power. You don't have. Oh, you might have the power. I don't know. You're kind of God here. But I digress.
No.
If I were to say I'm going to take over your stream, that's not going to happen. And if I were to be like, I'm going to go and, open up a grocery store, I don't have the means to do that. At least not in this current state that I am. He can say he wants to do XYZ, and unless it involves the transportation, either the transportation of goods or the use of goods and services, he really can't do anything about it. Since ABC is a privately owned company and not a federally owned company, and they don't have any business with the federal government, he doesn't have any power to do anything. Now, if Disney were to be like, hey, US government, we'd like to sell you ABC for $22 trillion, and the government's like, sure, fuck it, we'll buy it, and ABC becomes a government broadcasting network or a public broadcasting network, then absolutely he would have control over that.
Yes,
The FCC is government controlled stuff. It would be, he would have, for him to say something like that and for it to have power, it would be him talking to like Raytheon or BlackRock or Texas Instrument. If someone in Texas Instrument were to be like, ha ha ha, funny, edgy comment, he could be like, all right, Texas Instrument, you're either going to fire that employee or we're going to find another company to do business with. That's an instance where him saying something like that would hold any water. And that would be a genuine threat versus his opinion. Because Texas Instrument is providing goods and services to the federal government.
Okay. So so like, just say for example, like I don't know, like the chairman of Nike makes like most, if not all, of the decisions for Nike, right? Like they choose like what goes through and stuff like that, right? They choose what shoes to put out. They, choose how to advertise, all of that stuff. That's what the chairman does. So here's the block that I can't get past. And I know y'all say that it's not connected, but listen though, and I know y'all are gonna roll your eyes, but please forgive me because it's just not sitting right with me. If Nexstar is like this company that's trying to merge ABC, and the FCC has a say in whether or not it goes through, right? Okay. And this guy's in charge of the FCC. Okay. If he threatened to get Kimmel kicked off, then forgive me for thinking that his words might be a little bit more than words.
I can understand why you think that. However, they are both private companies. And if him being in charge of the FCC had any power over the merger, which according to you it does, I still don't see him saying that as having any weight.
May I ask why you see that though? Like why?
Because
why do you see it that way?
Because if they were to fire him over anything else, it would be seen as them just firing Jimmy Kimmel. So I don't see what Jimmy Kimmel says as the main reason for his show getting suspended indefinitely. I see the reason him getting his show suspended indefinitely is because of the ratings. It's a business. He's not making them enough money, so they're putting him on the back shelf. His show isn't doing what's necessary, so they're putting it on the back shelf. I don't think the person in charge of the FCC is compromised to the point to where they can buy his favor by terminating a show. I don't think, because it has to be a joint between him and who else? Who else is in charge of saying no to this merger?
The Department of Justice.
So if they were going to if they were doing this just to get him, then there would be something else they would have to do to get the other person on board. Because if one person says yes and the other person says no, that's a deadlock. And they can't have the merger go through if both people are saying, if one says no, one says yes, the merger can't go through.
Yeah. No.
So it wouldn't make sense to me for them to be like, oh, we want the FCC guy to like us, so we're going to fire this one guy for this particular statement. That just doesn't make sense to me because
I see what you're saying.
They're only getting half the vote, really.
So I see what you're saying. And I actually don't disagree with you, and I would actually like 100% agree with you if it was only the FCC. But the other factor in this is that, and you guys can look it up. The Department of Justice also has to say in this, and like I said, whenever there's a new administration, the president picks who he wants to be put in charge of the Department of Justice, and so they're going to work at the orders of the president. So the point that I'm making here is that I don't personally think, this is just me, that if Jimmy Kimmel, if he hadn't said that if he hadn't invoked that, if he hadn't mentioned the phrase MAGA, I don't think his show would have been suspended. That's my own point of view. I'm not saying that with any factual base. I have no evidence to prove that. That's just my own point of view. And so I think that.
Did we get a bot?
Right back, guys.
All right, bro.
Should we remove that thing?
You can just exit out of this. But so here's the thing, Corey. I think that ABC didn't. If Kimmel hadn't invoked MAGA, I don't think his show would have been suspended indefinitely. But because ABC wants this to go through, and because the Department of Justice is literally working for Donald Trump, I do actually think that, again, I'm not saying that there's any evidence behind this. This is what I'm saying. I think that it's possible that ABC fired him because he invoked the word MAGA. Sorry, not fired him, suspended his show. I think that they suspended his show because he mentioned the word MAGA. That's my own personal point of view. I'm not saying that his viewers dropping is not a reason for it, but whether you like it or not, Donald Trump did win last year, and in the Electoral College, he won pretty handily. So personally, I think that ABC is just trying to get this through so that they don't have to deal with him any longer. That's my own point of view. That's just what I'm thinking. And they wanted to get rid of him. This was just the excuse to do so. That could be possible, Pilgrim. I'm not saying that it's not. But I also think that if he hadn't said if MAGA never came out of Kimmel's mouth, I think he would still have a show. That's just
I agree partially. I think if he didn't say the word MAGA, he probably would have had a show for another couple of months. Because as of right now, he has over 100,000 viewers. I think the minimum cutoff is once you drop below 100,000 consistent viewers, that's when your show gets pulled.
Yeah, that happens to a lot of wrestling shows.
So essentially, Jimmy Kimmel is a deer that just got hit by a car, and his word MAGA was just the bullet from the police officer that found him.
Yeah,
so
it was going to happen to him either way.
So
it was going to happen to him either way.
So yeah, him getting him getting indefinitely suspended has nothing to do with the word MAGA. It's just a convenient catalyst for them. His show is dying. His show was going to get off the air anyway. It's just him saying that was convenient, and they're using it as a scapegoat. And everyone is looking at it as that. And I don't think, like I said earlier, I don't think people are looking into it as deeply as they should to get the information. I think it's happening because him getting indefinitely suspended is happening because his show is dying. He's not pulling in the views, and it's not very... Thank you, Pilgrim. I'm glad you're here, too. I like you. You're cool. I digress.
He's all right. He's a he's a redhead.
Dude, I fucking love gingers. What?
Nah, it's just
Fuck yeah, dude.
it's a
Fuck
very
yeah,
old
ginger. Let's go, bro.
it's a
Anyway.
very old joke. It's a very old joke that it's a very old joke
Oh.
that we have with him, yeah.
But yeah, I could there be people out there who've taken him saying MAGA into account when they're like, let's pull his show? Absolutely. I don't think it's the reason he's getting indefinitely suspended.
If it's not the main reason, it definitely was like the phrase the straw that broke the camel's back.
I don't think it was. I think if we're going to use the term the straw that broke the camel's back, it would, for me, it's purely ratings. I see this as, I'm looking at this from a purely business standpoint. His show is not doing good. He could have said, praise God, I love Jesus, death to the enemies of America or whatever, or like death to America. It doesn't matter what Jimmy Kimmel says.
You think he still would have gotten his show suspended?
Absolutely. Even if he were to be like, I love America, I'll die for America, enlist today, buy war bonds, I still think he would have been suspended.
I can respect your point of view. I'm not saying that you're incorrect. I do think that there's more to it, though.
I agree.
I think that a big part of it is because his show was dying. I'm not saying that his show wasn't dying, and I'm not even really a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. He's too cozy with the Democrats for my taste. I really am not a fan of him. He kind of just
And I feel like if there were any instance to where Jimmy Kimmel were to save his show, not shave it, if he were to save his show, he would change up. He's over here shaving on. He's shaving.
Shaving his hair off.
Yeah, dude. He's got the clippers out and everything. If he wanted to save his show, it wouldn't be on the back of haha political commentary. That got him here. That's great. You know what's having his show lose people? Political commentary. Now, if he were to take his show and turn it into, I don't know, SNL, something along those lines, I would absolutely see Jimmy Kimmel continuing to keep his show. Jimmy Kimmel was on air. What's up?
If he ever comes back, he should do it like Krusty the Clown does, and just like do like and just do like pure like comedy stuff, not like political stuff. Because like whether you're right wing, left wing, or chicken wing, I genuinely think that people just like even me, like if I want to go to a political comedian, I'll watch like George Carlin or something. But I'm not gonna go to like Jimmy Kimmel to hear about politics. I literally cover politics on my politics channel. I'm not gonna go to him for politics. So if he ever were to come back, he should just not do politics. There's a time and a place for it. That's all that I'll say.
And another thing that we need to, another thing that if it were, let me think of the way to word this. The reason his show and Stephen Colbert's show failed is because they are both comedy and news. They tried to make the news funny back when people weren't watching the news, and through them, please don't clip this, they did some good. Like Germany in World War II, they did some good. Are they still bad?
Oh,
yes.
No. Oh no!
But they did some good because back when they started, nobody was watching the news. No one's watching.
No one watches the news now, though, either. In fairness,
well, nobody watches the news on TV, but you have to admit, when they started their shows, there was only like ABC, Fox, and your local news station. Now you have a smorgasbord of online news outlets that you can go to. there are companies out there that purely collect different news outlets, put them together, and then say, this news outlet is more left-leaning, this one's more right-leaning, this is more centered, this one has more communist spin. There are companies out there that are just like, here's your like plate of news, and then this is what's in it for you to pick from.
Yeah.
When they started, those weren't a thing. And after them, they are now. And I think that's a good thing. I think that now that there's a greater plethora of news outlets, and there's a greater plethora of people who are now genuinely interested in the news and world events and politics and all that. Is it because of them? Maybe.
I mean,
but now there's no need for them to have a comedy-based news segment at, After Dark. It's,
I mean,
you could just
you kind of gotta. It's actually like you hit it right on the head, Corey. Because the rise of independent media really kind of took off like in like 2014, 2015. That's when, as a kid, well, as a teenager, I got into independent media. I don't trust one singular word of anything that any of the mainstream news articles say. I tend to, if I see something, I will try my hardest to try to find the same information from another source that is not biased if I can. But the broader point that I am making is that, especially here on YouTube, on this platform, I think that it really has became the main source of where people get their news and information from. And I think it's really I think it's a broad stroke, and I think that, like, if I'm gonna go to that's to get the most views from YouTube Shorts, YouTube is taking over their space. This will be around. Yeah, true.
You
And
good, Roland?
I think it's
No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm dealing with a headache right now. That's just
okay.
I'm good.
Bro.
All right.
Bro.
It just came upon me out of nowhere.
Dude, I'm sorry.